Viewer discretion advised.
Good morning, Z-Horde. How's everybody doing this morning? Happy Monday. Made it through another weekend. I'm your host, Steve Stockton. Let's see who we've got in the chat this morning. Let's see, we got Sean G, Chasing the Truth. Hey, Sean, how's it doing? Caught your show on Saturday, man. That was awesome. Pelia Noctis, good to see you with us this morning. Arette Madsen, all the way from France. How are you? Creepy Clown Girl's also in the chat. She's going to be my guest today. I thought I would interview her and see what she's been up to. Hellfire Narrations, glad to have you with us. Ben Sheba, another one of our fine mods here. Got the best mods in the business. We appreciate each and every one of you. So how's everybody doing this morning? Can you hear us okay? All right. Looking good. I want to dedicate today's show to the memory of Rick Ocasek from the Cars, who passed away over the weekend. A lot of hits there. Candy O, Shake It Up, Drive. A lot of hits from the 70s and 80s. Friday we lost Eddie Money, and then we lost Rick over the weekend. And they say these things happen in thirds. What if there's going to be a number 3 this time? We'll see. Time will tell. Always kind of strange there. I'm going to go ahead and bring my guest in. She's just going to kind of guest host with me, too. We're going to chat a little bit about a bunch of different things. She needs no introduction among you all. She's one of the most active members here. She's hashtag on it, as always. Come on in, Creepy Clown Girl.
Hello, Steve. Hello, everyone in the chat.
Good morning, CCG. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you. And how are you?
I'm doing good. Little sinusy. The cold weather really moved in force here in Portland over the weekend. 59 degrees and rainy, and just it kind of plays up with my sinuses for a few days, and then I'm okay. So I don't get the flu, I don't get cold, so it's a good trade-off.
Yes, it is. It's still kind of warm here in Arizona. Yuck.
Yeah, we had Ganna on the other day from Phoenix. It was Friday, and she said it was like 106 there. I think that was going to be the high. So,
right.
Don't miss those triple-digit temperatures in the desert.
I know I'm seriously in the wrong state.
Got Aisha, 1994 digital art, joining us this morning. Aisha,
Hi,
how are you?
Aisha. Hi, Stilia. Hi, Banshiba. Hi, Maharet, who will be mine and Outcast guest on Tuesday.
Yeah, looking forward to that. She's a very interesting person and does all kinds of different things, speaks a bunch of different languages, a tattoo artist, and a horror lover. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into it here. We'll keep an eye on the chat and see if anybody else wanders in here. We should have some more coming along soon. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. I'm pretty sure everybody here is a subscriber, though, at this point.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, CCG, let's get started with you.
Okay.
First of all, let's talk about horror. How did you get into being a fan of horror narration or a fan of horror movies? How did that all start for you?
It actually started as a little girl, and the first horror movie I saw was Night of the Living Dead, the original black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I just fell in love with it. And then the second one I saw was Psycho. So I've been a fan of horror since I was like 5 years old.
good introduction to the genre there, and especially Night of the Living Dead. That was groundbreaking in so many different ways. It was one of the first where it actually showed the zombies eating people's insides and things, and it shocked and terrified a lot of audiences when that came out. I think there were protests and people telling you you're going to go to hell for watching that, and all kinds of things going on. Romero didn't think it was that big of a deal, didn't even bother to copyright the movie, which is why I think he did later on. But for a long time there, you could find copies of it like at Walgreens and stuff on those bargain discs. But turned into something else there, created its whole own genre there, basically, even though there had been previous zombie movies like Bela Lugosi and White Zombie and some of those. It set the bar pretty high, and then kind of just started that whole era of films like that. And then Psycho, that's a classic. There's a documentary just about the shower scene, and I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but the number of shots and the number of cuts that they used just to make that one scene. It's like,
jeez,
28 shots, 64 cuts or something like that. And it was iconic. It was amazing what they did with that, because you really don't see what you think you see. And film received an X rating originally because of that, till Hitchcock went in and basically showed frame by frame, like, no, there's no nudity, no, you don't see the knife going in, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, okay. But again, it was visceral. It had people scared to take showers. It was iconic. It was amazing what they did with that, because you really don't see what you think you see. And
right.
Film received an X rating originally because of that. Hitchcock went in, and the silhouette of Norman in his mother's outfit with the butcher knife. So put that up when have guests coming over that you don't want to stay for more than a couple of days.
It defined psychological horror, because, like you said, it instilled a lot of fear in people not wanting to take a shower.
Mm-hmm. So. And I think anytime you get something that affects people like that, I know like Jaws kept people from going into the water. The original Halloween, I know people that bothered, that they walked around armed in their own home for a while. I think anytime you have a movie that causes that kind of reaction, that's one of your genre definers there, somebody that's taking it up to the next level. And then the same with like some of the slasher films, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, and those that just kind of cranked it up a little bit.
Oh yeah. Hi, Demented Centaur. Thank you for joining.
Hey, DC, glad you could join us this morning.
But me, I like the original classic horrors, back when horror was actually horror, and it instilled something in you that even many, many, many years later, you can watch it and it still instills that fear. That's psychological fear. Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
There's just some things like that I remember. A Fiend Without a Face, which was like these little brains with part of a spinal cord attached, and they had these little like snail feelers on top, and they would fly around and attack people. And this is like from the 50s, an old black and white film, but that really scared me when I was a kid, because when you're real small, like 4 or 5 years old, it's like, that could happen. You're thinking in your kid mind. There was a local origination broadcast there in Knoxville, where I grew up, called The Early Show. They showed a movie every day at like 3 or 4 o'clock. And I saw a lot of horror on there. They had a lot of those old monster movies like that. They would have Horror Week and Godzilla Week. And that was where I got my real love of horror, was being brave enough to watch those when I got, sometimes from behind the couch peeking over, but the more you watch, the better they got. And then that was just, it kind of grew from there. And then also shows like Dark Shadows, that was on television when I was small, the original Dark Shadows, like this Gothic soap opera. And it came on in the afternoon. I remember rushing home from school to watch Barnabas. He was my favorite character. And then you had shows like Night Gallery, which was absolutely terrifying. About the same time, so I would have been like 5 or 6, and would sit up and watch that late at night. And for television show, I think it was terrifying.
Yeah, I remember Night Gallery and them shows, and I remember, as corny as it was, Elvira and Miss Scary.
Yeah, we had we didn't have a horror host in Knoxville, but they had one in Chattanooga that I could pick up sometimes on Friday nights if the weather was just right. I think it was like Chiller Theater or something like that, where they had the guy with the Mad Monster Laboratory get up on and show old movies, and he would break into the movies and interact with them and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. But other places, you have people like Zachary and the Ghoul and some of those people that basically made careers out of making fun of those old movies. And yeah, Elvira and some of those people, just awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm. She was a very pretty woman.
Mm-hmm. And heard that she got her idea to do something different from Elvis. She apparently knew Elvis in Vegas, and he told her, that you can only be pretty for so long. You need to find something to do when your looks start to fade. And that was where she got the idea to come up with a character that she could do. And what better than the character that technically doesn't age because she's one of the undead. So
exactly.
Now, speaking of Elvis, that kind of leads me into the next thing here. I found out that you're a big fan of music, and probably at one time anyway was just a bigger promoter of music as you are for the horror and the horror narration. Now, how did that come about?
Well, I got on Twitter in 2016, and that's where I came across Hollywood Holocaust by MK Ultra Band. And I subscribed to him, and one day he reached out to me in DM, and it just took off from there. And I just started promoting music, bands like Falling into Red, Calling All Astronauts. There's so many. There are lists in my Twitter account of different bands that even to this day I still promote. Halfway Home, they're an awesome band as well. And back then I was known as Evil Slothette.
I love that name. And you told me the origin story for that this morning. Would you repeat that for our audience here? Hey, Journey to the Gate Paranormal Portal podcast. Welcome, Cisco. Glad to have you here.
Welcome, Cisco. Back when I was with MK Ultra, one of his fans called his supporters or followers the evil ones. And of course, I love sloths, and I loved Smurfette on the Smurfs. So I'm like, okay. So I took evil, and then I combined Smurf and then et and came up with Evil Smurfette. Or Slothette, excuse me. So...
Well, that's great, and it's so unique. I mean, I've never heard of anything even close to that before. So and it's memorable. It sticks with you too. So then,
right. And then I still promote Falling into Red, Calling All Astronauts. Oh, what is their name? I know they have Tree in it. And I still like MK Ultra's music, and I just recently resubscribed to him.
Yeah, that was something we just found out that we both happened to like his music. You were looking through, I think, and saw where I'd retweeted one of his songs, and you're like, I didn't know you liked him. I'm like, yeah, I was actually searching for a different type of MK Ultra article and found somebody with a band name. That thought, oh, I'll give this a listen. And he's actually really good at I don't even know what genre you would call that. It's kind of bends or blends a couple of different things in there, but it's unusual. It's really good. It's worth listening to. Hollywood Holocaust, that's one of my favorite songs by him as well. It's got some good stuff, and there's just there.
I think we have someone in the chat, Steve.
Let's see. Got Demented Maniac. Good morning, D. How are you doing? Glad to see
Journey
you here.
through the
Straight to the gate. Yeah, we already shouted her out. That's Cisco, but we'll
Okay.
shout her out again. We don't care. Hellfire Narration, I think I already said
Yep.
hello to him, and hello again, Hellfire. See if there's anybody else that's new that's coming. Let me scroll back a little bit here. I get excited talking about stuff and tend to miss the chat. Looks like we've got everybody. If you're in the chat and we didn't shout you out,
Give us a thumbs up.
And if you haven't smashed that like button, please go ahead and do so. It helps the stream. So we're talking music right now with Creepy Clown Girl, Evil Slothette. I love that. That's so awesome. But there are just so many bands out there, and it's hard to know them all and to find them all. And there's so many like micro niches almost. I listen to a type of music called Witch House, and there's all these great bands making all this great music, and the majority of people have never heard of them. But that's kind of the thing. It's built by design that way to keep it cool and keep it underground, and they spell their names with all these weird letters and stuff, so it makes it harder to find. So that's kind of a unique concept to me, where most bands want to be found and want to be discovered and want to be promoted. These guys just want to kind of keep it on the down low and keep doing what they're doing and keep it among a select group of people. I can respect that. It's different than it was, I think, when we were kids.
Oh yeah. I think MK's now got over 70,000 followers and everything.
And that's amazing, for somebody that's just basically doing it on the internet. I don't know what kind of record deal he has if he puts out his own music, because you've got people that do that, these bedroom producers and bedroom rappers and garage bands that just put something together, put it out there, gain a following, and every now and then, hey, Puerto Rican showcasing. Good morning, Jose. Good to see you.
Good morning, Jose.
But I was just thinking about that last night. I used to write for the College Music Journal when I was in school, and I was on the campus entertainment board, so I got to meet a lot of the bands that came through. And I'll never forget August 19th, 1982. Cheap Trick and Joan Jett were playing at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum, and that was when the 1982 World's Fair was in Knoxville. And I got a call from a friend of mine on the campus entertainment board. It's like, hey, Joan Jett is down at the World's Fair site. They'd had like a few days off. They were going to play a show that night. Like, you want to go interview her? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I took off down there. It was right at the edge of campus anyway. And I literally ran to the World's Fair site and found her. She was in the Sunsphere restaurant there, which was this gold ball on a Eiffel Tower looking thing there. So I got to interview her, and some of my friends had followed me over there. They didn't believe I was actually going to get to talk to Joan Jett. And I was a total fan. I'd been a fan ever since the Runaways days, and a big Cheap Trick fan too, but I really wanted to meet Joan Jett. Hey, Dice Roland, good to have you with us this morning.
Hi, Dice Roland.
So I did the interview. Joan Jett's getting ready to walk out. And I'm like, my friends don't believe I'm talking to you. Would you walk out? Can we walk out together? And Joan was really cool. So we started walking out, and she's like, hey. And I'm like, what? She's standing with her hands on her hips. She's a little thing. She's like 5'4", 5'5". She's like, if we're going to walk out together, we're going to walk out together. And she made me take her arm. So here I am, escorting Joan Jett out of the bottom of the Sunsphere. And my friends standing there, and their eyes are wide. And then when we got ready to go, she's like, Steve, I'll see you later. She grabbed me by the shirt collar and kissed me right on the lips.
Wow.
Never forget that day as long as I live. I was basically in tears by that point. I was just like trying to be cool. Like, no, I'm not crying. My eyes are sweaty. It's hot out here. But then I had backstage pass to the show, and of course everything that night. But it was awesome. Just little things like that you remember, because she had just really a year before that or so broken away from the Runaways. Her album, the I Love Rock and Roll, had been turned down by, I think it was 23 record companies. So her and her manager just decided to put it out themselves, and it sold 10 million copies right off the bat. So Just something little like that, you never know when you've got lightning in a bottle. And I think
Right.
a lot of bands out there like that now, just waiting to be discovered, that have the potential to be something really, really huge, but they slip through the cracks.
My very first concert was Heart, and oh, they were just as good. I mean, in person, and I just like, wow. One of my favorite songs is Dog and Butterfly.
Now I've got a story about that one too. If you want to hear, I know I'm supposed to be interviewing you, and then I'm telling all the stories. When I was in Las Vegas, I was doing, worked in photography labs, in a lot of different casinos. The company that I worked for had the souvenir photography franchise in all the big casinos. Well, I was at the Hilton. It used to be the old International Hotel where Elvis had been, and they had several bands that rotated in and out there. That played. They had Brooks and Dunn. They had Cheap Trick did it for a while. Well, one of the other bands was Heart, and the first time that I worked that show, I met Ann and Nancy, the sisters there, and it was just amazing. And when I met them, that was what I said. I said, I think Dog and Butterfly is one of the most underrated albums ever. And Ann actually hugged me. She's like, "Oh," that one met with a lot of criticism. A lot of critics didn't like that one and kind of panned it, but that's one of my favorite albums.
We have a shout out to Miscast Entertainment and the Evil Outcast. Hello and welcome, you guys.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure and smash that like button.
And was there anyone else?
I saw Dice Roland sneak in, but I believe I shouted her out in the middle of my story. She may not have heard me. But it's Dice's world. We just live in it. Dice and I talk horror movies on Twitter back and forth, and we find some really, really cool stuff.
Drew Scott Gaming, I think, is here with us as well. Drewski
Gone Game. Yeah, he slipped in. I did not see that one go by.
Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. My apologies.
Thinking Drewski like rhymes with a brewski. Hey, Deadline, how you doing this morning? And of course, we want to say hi to Nightbot. Maybe he'll leave Miscast alone today. Lately, there's a lot of battles between Nightbot and Miscast. Nightbot likes to come in and smack Miscast around, and he's timed him out and done all kinds of things. So,
wow.
According to Miscast, it's not just on this stream, but on other streams where they use Nightbot. That it's something about him that it doesn't like.
Jeez. Poor Miscast. Oh. What did he say?
Oh, always a pleasure, Nightbot. Oh no, Evil Outcast. Somebody broke into his public storage. Oh, sorry, they got your stuff there, man.
Sorry about that, dude.
Still talking music here. What are some of your other, maybe not so mainstream bands that people might not have heard of that you'd like to share? I know you mentioned a few there, but are there any more?
There is. I would have to let me go to my list on Twitter. Because there's several of them, so...
Everybody follow Creepy Clown Girl on Twitter, by the way. Also check out her Discord. She's got an awesome Discord, too. A lot of activity there. As well as Dezombified has a rockin' Discord. We have some awesome after parties in there after the night streams. Get one of the mods to pop in the Dezombified Discord there.
Okay, some of them are Tap Dead. Let me click on their name because, of course... Tap Dead. Of course, I need a charger. Gosh, I haven't. Oh, tap dead center. Let's see. Hold on one second, you guys. My apologies.
Oh, no worries. I kind of caught you off guard with that one. Get you in the hot seat here, and we'll shine the light in your eyes. And great.
Let's see. Halfway home. In finding way. Gosh, there's just so many of them. Let me see if I can't share the link to this list. That would be a no. Yeah, share. Here it is.
All right, well, that'd be awesome. There we go. That way, people that are interested in what you listen to can go there and check out your music. And I like finding out that aspect about you, that you're into some of the indie bands and some of the strange music. We have some in common. But now, getting back to narrators, you're a fan and promoter of so many different narrators, and I don't really want to put you on the spot, so I'll kind of rephrase a different way. Who are your favorites? We'll make it plural, so that way we don't alienate anybody or make you choose any one necessarily over the other.
Oh my gosh, again, there is just so many, and there's just such amazing talent. There's Ghost Mummy, Fear Crawler, Swamp Dweller, Corpse Husband, most definitely. Corpse Husband. He's fabulous. Nightmare Files. Of course, again, a couple of them are my originals that I started. In fact, it was Corpse Husband. I was like, oh, who's this? And then I heard his stories about the stairs in the woods. And it was really got me hooked. And after moving away from supporting music as much, I changed my YouTube. And here I am now, a promoter and supporter of the horror community, because I feel that it's, both the best worlds. I love music and I love horror. So I'd have to say Corpse Husband. Yeah, he's great.
And he is amazing. I know he's been going through some things lately and hasn't been able to do a lot. I think he's kind of on the way back now, but looking forward to hearing more from him.
I am too.
And then what's your opinion on all the female narrators? There seems to be this new breed of narrators coming in now that's female, and a lot of them are foreign, and I think it's a good thing. I like to see that.
I think it's great that YouTube is getting more and more female narrators, that we're breaking out into the community. Like I said, one of my first female narrators I listened to was Ghost Mummy, then Nightmare Zombiecorn, Gothic Librarian, they're Gothic Rose, Antique Creeps. They're all amazing, and I think it's. Oh, I know, and I think it's. Oh yeah.
Really, she's something else. Love Antique Creeps.
Our dollies want to play with each other. Sorry.
And,
1, 2, I'm
Goblin Princess Keo and Pumpkin
Yep.
Queen, and there's so many. It's getting almost hard to keep up with. And it seems to me like some of the females are breaking out faster than the males did. I mean, Gothic Rose, she and I started right about the same time, and she is just boom. She's really taken off.
She followed Neff, Nefarious TV. She followed Neff one day, boom.
Mhm.
She just turned into a volcano that erupted, and you're like, there she went. So it's pretty cool. They're amazing. Dead Leaf Clover is another good one.
It's another one.
And Galman just did a portrait for her, Pumpkin
That's
Queen.
such good work.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talent in the horror community.
And some collabs. I know I did a few lines for one of Pumpkin Queen's videos, but I'm looking forward to that where there's more male-female collaboration there because it broadens the story, you know, when you've got both voices going in there in a tale that's set up that way. And I'm kind of still waiting for. I mean, we've got Dezombified here, a husband and wife team that do narrations together. And I think that's probably a wave of the future. I'm waiting for them to break out. I know they concentrate on the streams, but they have some really good original content too. And I know they've got some more coming up. So I'm really, really looking forward to that.
I am too, and I think yes, somebody. Nope. Okay. They do. I pretty much have been with them since their beginning. I've been with some narrators when they only had 24 subscribers, and now are over 2,500.
Wow, that's amazing. And yeah, that's where I heard about Dezombified was on your Discord. I was over there one night, and people were, I don't remember what we were chatting about, and like, well, I'm going to go listen to the Zombified. And everybody's like, yeah, me too. And everybody left. And I thought, okay, I'll go see it. I had subscribed on your recommendation earlier, but I'd never been to one of the live streams. And I came in, and it was like being slapped upside the head in a good way. It was just, you know, you had this kind of soul funk thing going on. You had these smooth FM voices. Kenny sound like Mary White, and then you got Miss Stereo. I always tell her she sounds like the
Whitney Houston.
She sounds like the anonymous DJ in The Warrior to me. If you've ever seen that movie,
yeah,
it's Lynn Thigpen is the actress that does it, but you just see her lips in the movie, and she's like trying to guide the Warriors back to Coney, you know, toward the last of the film. And it was magic, you know. It was like, what is this? Why have I not been in here sooner? You know, and I've been hooked ever since.
Right. I put Miss Stereo up there with Tina Turner as well.
Yeah, she can sing. She's got
the voice.
And then Kenny can rap. I mean, they've got all these talents here. They can tell scary stories. They can rap. They can sing. They can just wow. It's really they're going places, and I've been predicting this for a while. I've been telling, like, you know, you guys you're going to hit 100,000 or more. It's just should already be there. So that's why we appreciate everybody coming and helping get the word out. Smash like
promote.
Buy a mug or a T-shirt or something, because every penny goes back into buying equipment and things for the chat to make it better. So unsolicited advertisement there, but
well, I will say, like I said, Philia and I are working on a story for Dezombified's 1,000 subscriber special. I will not give it away, but let's just say it has a few twists.
Cool. Same here. I've got something in the works. And working on it just as catch can. I got a lot of other stuff going on. Cisco and I've got a book about to come out in paperback, and we've been having a lot of fun working with the editor and the cover designer and beating things to fit and painting them to match. So hopefully that'll be done soon, and I'll have more time to concentrate on other things, but I've got something in mind for that. Any of you creators there, or just anybody, if you've got something you'd like to do for that 1,000 subscriber special stream, get it in here. You don't have a whole lot of time left. Let's see. I haven't refreshed since we started here. 902 subscribers. You got a little while, but you know, that could change really quick.
And if all goes well, I can't even talk. Outcast hopefully will lend us his voice for a character in our story. So
awesome.
If you're listening, Outcast. So
he says that Miss Stereo has the voice of the angels.
Yes.
And he also says, Dezombified are the king and queen of horror. And
okay, what is Outcast and Philia saying?
That was Outcast. That last one I said, Philia kind of LOL daddy. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Evil Outcast, and you're welcome. Zombified, you and the Z Horde are my family. That's from Evil Outcast. And Ophelia says, Miss Stereo has a voice with divine power behind it. Evil
You
Outcast,
got it, Outcast. We sure will.
he wants to see the script. Right.
Well, like I always tell Mysterio and Kenny, reach for the stars. The universe is yours. So, and they're reaching and they're grabbing it, and they are only 98 subscribers away. Promote. That's what my best advice to everybody is, it's everybody asks me, how do you do it? And it's like, I think about what it takes for a narrator or the Zombified to put out just one video for us. I feel that in return, the best thing that we can do is to promote and to support them in their journey, no matter how small or how big. If we do it together, then we all, benefit from what comes out in the end. And what more could you ask for?
And there's Mina.
Hi, Mia.
Another one of our wonderful mods. And she says, Kenny and Miss Stereo have voices which are so smooth to the ears. It's like warm, sweet honey.
I would love to hear Miss Stereo sometimes sing I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Maybe she'll do that on their 1,000 subscriber mega.
Dee's here as well. Demented
Maniac. Yeah,
Demented Maniac.
Can't wait. Been pumping himself up, so.
I know I am not singing on here.
Well, let's go ahead here and take a short commercial break since I kind of already talked about it. Go ahead and get the Teespring merch up there, and Creepy Clown Girl, get you to help me with this. I know that you're a big fan of mugs, and you probably have the largest collection of narrating mugs of anybody that I know. And in fact, Dezombified made a special mug just for you.
Yes, and I love it. I use it all the time next to my M&M. See, sis, I said M&M, but still got stuck on Mickey Mouse in my head. But anyways, sis gave me, or Philia, gave me an M&M mug, and she has the twin. So
that's cool. But yeah, be sure and visit the Teespring store. Check out the merchandise. Love those mugs, and then we've got the new designs in there with the Amen TV design on it. It's on your screen there now. I got the hoodie. Check out the mugs there. You can put anything in it. You can put M&Ms in it. Keep hamster, your toothpaste, your toothbrush, your flesh-eating plant. That's the one they've got in your mug there.
You could even grow a plant. Or for outcasts, you could, I could always put a tarantula and a headless doll in there.
There you go.
One, two. That. Hey, outcast, my dolly wants to play.
There's other.
Can we have a tea party, please?
Plants you could grow in there. It doesn't have to be a flesh-eating plant. It might be a mind-expanding plant, but I won't say any more about that.
And they have baby clothes, and you can create a little baby zombie.
Oh, yeah.
By putting a onesie on them, and don't forget the stickers.
And I heard that leggings are coming soon. And I
yes!
even heard a rumor that Kenny is going to model the leggings. I don't know if that.
Oh, wow. That would be interesting. House slippers or high heels?
I could totally see him doing kind of Lux Interior from the Cramps type thing, with the leggings and a leather jacket with no shirt on underneath and a pair of high heels. Lux just made it work. Kitty, you could pull it off.
I'm sorry. Anyways, so get your merchandise today, and if you want your own custom designed mug, send your designs, a photo that you want, to Dezombified in their DM on Twitter, and they can make that possible for you.
Right on. And look forward to the new merchandise coming up. Hey, we got Artie Morbid joining us in there.
Hi, Artie Morbid. How are you?
All about he's saying hello, miscast, and calling him pantsless. I'm not. I don't know if I want to know what they're talking about there.
I don't think maybe I do either.
Miscast getting his things taken. No, that was Evil Outcast. I'm getting everybody confused here. Well, there's some story here with miscast being pantsless. We'll see if it plays out in the chat. Comment further on that.
I think that was who was that? Oh my gosh. Woohoo. Oh, it was Morbid, yes. Hi, Morbid. Is it almost time for the Z-Horde anthem, so we can get all of our zombies up out of their graves?
Our seventh inning stretch here, like they do in baseball, we do the Z-Horde
anthem.
And so everybody can get ready. Get ready to get up, shake your booty, shake it like a Polaroid picture, all rise for the Z-Horde anthem. Get up, shake it around, stomp around, stalk around your living room.
And eat brains. And the Z-Horde anthem is a love letter from Kenny and Mysterio to all of us for showing all of our love and support to them.
And I also heard there's a remix of that coming up too, so looking forward to that.
I am so looking forward to it.
This one's such an earworm. I wake up a lot of times with verses of this in my head. There's just certain parts of it that are kind of on repeat. It's like it's on a 2-track in my head. It's just like...
Mine too. In fact, Philia and I last night in VC, I believe it was singing parts of the Z-Horde anthem.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. Do we have any more shout outs before we go to the anthem? Okay, zombies, let's get up out of your graves. You've been dead long enough. Let's move those bones.
This one goes out to all you Dezomba friends, the Z-Horde. We want you to know just how much we love you.
Shout out to Philia Noctis, creepy clown girl, dark carnival got this. A local nightmare, it's so amazing. Puerto Rican Jose's entertaining. Dark waters, dog man is twisted. Asia 1994, really gifted. Dustin Fleming's stronger than the rock. Hellfire's out here making everything hot. Yeah. Braidum 23 of fire's a G. For kryptonites down, Kitty's family. Now there are times when we all need gore. Danny Martians in the house, never know what's in store. Mandy Mortem is legit and a queen. Gothic Rose enchanting, she's on the scene. 13 past midnight, things that go bump in the night. Gory B, horror addicts are out of sight. Big ups to the late horror show. Emily's Adventures in Horrorland, here we go. And you know we gotta keep them dice rolling. MD Who Entertainment, she's been chosen. Give it up for the evil outcast. Swedish mom is dope, yo, you know she got class. So if you get bad vibes from storytelling, then these monsters in my mind will leave you yelling. You see, we all about hearing stranger stories on the creeps. So sweet, she really got love for me. Penny tails up, narrating for the win. Queenie Todd, they amazing, but real dark and grim. Dementor centaurs, flickathon, swamp dwellers. Scolded 22, they be our fellas. Anime Atome, Time He Lives, our fantastic panic deep. Paranormal history, great graphics. What's up, Bullis Greedy? I meant CP. I'm gonna get so bent with nefarious TV. Slumberies, Art of Morbid, Cap 7, truly salmon. And we can never forget about Karen. 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 Karen.
Hello, everyone.
And we're back. Hello. While we were just as we went into the song, so UXSX only. Come in. Good morning. Glad to have you with us. Hola.
Hello, welcome here.
I think we're caught up on the chat. Let's go ahead and take a look at some freaky news items
Sounds great to me.
this morning. Let's see what we've got first here. Let's go ahead and I'll do them in the order that I found them here. Fisherman catches a strange dinosaur-like creature.
Really?
Yeah, this is Fox News about a day ago. Seen it definitely counts as a once-in-a-lifetime catch. Fisherman in Norway was shocked when he reeled in a bizarre alien-looking creature from the water. Strange animal had large bulbous eyes that made it look like something truly out of this world. Oscar Lindahl nearly jumped out of his fishing boat when he pulled the strange creature into the boat with him. That's
Wow.
compliments of Fukushima there, I'm pretty sure. It's like,
no, I'm good, thanks.
fishing guide for Nordic sea angling was reportedly fishing for blue halibut off the coast of the island of Andøya in Norway when he made the catch, fishing about 2,600 feet below the surface. That is a strange looking creature. You couldn't pay me to eat it though.
Oh, no. But no.
Don't want any dinosaur looking sushi there. Yeah. The eye on that thing is big as a saucer.
Oh, no caviar?
Tiny fins and that weird eel-like it looks like a cross between an eel and I don't know, some kind of fish or something. It's reported to be a ratfish, a relative of the shark that reportedly dates back 300 million years per the Sun in the UK. They live in deep water and apparently very rarely caught. Due to the extreme change in pressure, the ratfish didn't survive. Not wanting to waste it, Lundahl claimed he took the fish home and fried it up. Despite its ugly appearance, it was tasty, he told the Sun. It's a bit like cod, but tastier. I'll take his word for it.
Come on, just the word rat fish?
Yeah, no.
No. No. Wow, it's been extinct. Well, supposedly extinct.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Lives so deep, they're not even sure it was still around until he caught one of them. Okay, well, I don't want anything.
Bon appetit.
Okay, let's go to the next story here. Ghost child caught playing by the staircase at haunted house in the middle of the night. From the Mirror in the UK. A home security camera picked up what is claimed to be the ghost of a small boy. Footage shows a living room with a cat sitting in the middle, but to the side, a misty outline enters the bottom right-hand corner. The apparition seems to move backwards and forwards before disappearing as the cat sits impassively on the floor. Uploaded to YouTube by Joel Nolan, who said it was taken earlier this month. And he writes, on August 8th, 2019, 12:54 a.m., a security camera picked up a strange visitor walking through the kitchen. Some claim it's a little boy. Others are saying they see a boy, a girl, and their dog. We don't know for sure, but let us know what you think. Went viral on Reddit, and I don't know. There's definitely something there. One of those who saw it and commented asked Joy, anyone die recently in the family, I wonder? Pretty cool, but you don't see much. It looked like someone walking around. And Joy responded, more recent deaths, fortunately. We've been digging into the house's history to see if there's any significance with the date of the occurrence. Not much activity before or after.
Well, it must not be an evil spirit because the cat's just laying there like, whatever.
One person claims it's a spider. Somebody else says it's a bit of dust. So, I don't know.
The fact that the cat isn't reacting to it, Like I said, I have a witch little wooden statue thing that scares the cat. So if it is real, then it must not be something that's a threat or the cat isn't afraid of.
Yeah. Well, I've talked about my sock monkey I have that sometimes likes to move of his own accord. And I've come in my room before, where my studio is, and had Mulder sitting there growling, and he's looking up at the sock monkey. And it's just him and I. There's nobody else here. And he doesn't like the sock monkey sometimes. Usually he doesn't pay a lot of attention to it. But yeah, I've come in before, hear him barking, kind of growling, and he's staring at the sock monkey, which is up on top of some shelves where he can't get to it because he probably tear it apart. I don't know what's up with that. Somebody gave me that years ago. And it just, sometimes I'll come in and find it turned around a different way, or I don't know. It's very kind of a haunted doll, but it's a haunted sock monkey.
I think Miss Cass is leaving. I think I saw that right.
Oh, are you leaving us, Miss Cast? Well, careful out there. We'll see you the next time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's see, got one more.
And why are you keeping that sock monkey?
Well, like I said, somebody gave it to me, and I want to see what it does, and if it continues to get worse, or, and so far it's just about the same. It's just an occasional thing that I'll find it. But like I said, I'm the only one here, and I don't clean up there very often. And I've started, when I put things up there, I'll say, monkey, keep an eye on this, and then I'll say, you're doing a good job. And that seems to appease him. He doesn't seem as active as he used to be. His name is Mr. Peepers, by the way. My daughter named him. But I don't know. I'll keep everyone apprised of the situation. If it gets up and starts running around and I can actually see it, that'd be another story. But said Mulder doesn't like it. Instead
of Chucky, we'll create a movie called Mr. Peepers.
Mr. Peepers, the sock monkey from hell. Let's see if that'll elicit anything out of him tonight. All right, we got one more story here, and this one is really, really fascinating. It's a shocking video of China's Loch Ness Monster swimming in Asia's longest river. And I'd never heard of any type of water creature in China before, so this was news to me. And the video there is very compelling. I don't know what it is you can see there, but there's something very large, very eel-like that can be seen swimming in the water there. It's in the Yangtze River. Shocking video has emerged of a sea creature similar to the Loch Ness Monster swimming through China's river Yangtze, prompting viewers to speculate if it might be the Scottish mythical creature or another of its kind. Maybe the Loch Ness Monster went to China for vacation. It says Loch Ness believers worldwide were shocked when a video of the creature in China very similar to Scottish folklore was posted. In the video, a large eel-like creature can be seen swimming through the water. It's very long and dark, resembling what the Loch Ness Monster has been described as. It says, compelling video there. It's kind of short. It goes right into something else there, but I think there's about 15 seconds of whatever that is thrashing about in the water. And then if you go down lower, there's some still images of it there.
What does it look like? I mean,
it looks like pictures of Loch Ness Monster that I've seen. First sighting of the strange creature said to have been in the 1870s. When this is talking about the Loch Ness Monster. A local claimed to have seen something wriggling and churning up in the water.
Wow.
But yeah, it looks like an eel, but it would be as big as a telephone pole or so. And they need to get the guy from Norway to come over. He'll catch it and fry it and eat it. So that's
right. Jeez. Sushi, anybody? I don't know. I think there are things out there that haven't yet been discovered. And maybe our prehistoric creatures aren't quite prehistoric. I really don't think so.
Well, it's like there's a fish called, probably not pronouncing it, it's either a coelacanth or a coelacanth that was thought to be extinct for millions of years, and then they found one swimming in a creek somewhere, and they've since found more. So, was it ever really extinct and then somehow made it come back, or was it just hiding? Or I think, like you said, there's a lot of things that have undiscovered. They discover a lot of new species in the rainforest every year, and that's one of the other reasons that they want to save the rainforest. That and those trees provide oxygen, good amount of
Exactly.
oxygen for which we kind of need to breathe.
Well, my oldest daughter told me she was watching a documentary or something. I don't remember the name of it, but she said in the depths of the ocean, there was a beach. She said literally a beach that had unique and sea creatures that she had never seen before. And in the middle was a circular, like, pond, but it was huge. And every time they tried to put something in there, it would throw it back out. And it was solid black. Well, not solid black, but it was black. And nothing could, whatever went in, it would spit it right back out. And it was literally a sandy beach in the middle of the ocean.
Wow, amazing. And yeah, some of those depths, like that one dinosaur thing was called at 2,600 feet, I think. There's places where the ocean is miles deep, and you don't know what's down there. And I think there is life down there. There are species down there that we've never seen and may never seen. And I think it would have to look strange like that just because of the pressure at those depths. Excuse me. It would have to, adapt and be able to live. You can imagine what the pressure would be like that many feet or miles below the ocean.
Right.
You're going to come up with some strange looking creatures that are almost aerodynamic like so that they could float through the water and withstand that pressure. It's interesting. But yeah, I don't think we've anywhere near discovered all the species. And that's one of my pet theories on Bigfoot, is that it's just some type of undiscovered species, or maybe not undiscovered, but unproven.
But
And, comedian Mitch Hedberg used to say that Bigfoot itself is blurry, and then when people take a picture of it, that's why it always looks blurry. So,
hi, Cloudy Vapes.
howdy, Vapes. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Hello. Well, I remember, what was it? When I was 12 or 13, I lived in California, and I went to a camp called Camp High Hill, and we were told to get our backpacks and everything ready, and we headed out on a hike. Of course, there were soldiers practicing something, so I kind of got lagged behind the rest of the group. And I remember when I went to try to catch up with them, I remember smelling something horrific, and just out of the corner of my eyes, I caught something briefly. And when I turned my head to see what it was gone. But I could feel it watching me, and I'm like, I picked up my pace because that was scary.
And I
And
remember
being
one
that
night
young,
on
I didn't know.
Discord, you and I were talking about that, and I actually pulled up a Google map, and we found that camp. It's still there.
Yes, it
And
is.
it's not too far, kind of, what was it, like northeast of LA, up in that area in the mountains there, though.
Right.
But there have been some Bigfoot sightings and things there. And then the smell that you talk about, that's very common, like a sulfurous, rotting garbage type smell. I've smelled that before in some of the woods back east. And that also goes along with a lot of Bigfoot sightings in other areas, like in Florida. They call it the skunk ape because of the smell.
Well, back then, I didn't know about cryptids or Bigfoot or anything like that. I mean, it was back in the 80s, and I believe it would have been 1983, 84. And the only thing on my mind at that time was Culture Club and Halloween and Friday the 13th.
Awesome.
And I never told anybody, what I saw or smelt because I didn't want to come across as crazy. So, especially not in the 80s, because I mean, you're looking around the corner for Jason, not Bigfoot,
Right.
you know. So it was a fun camp. In fact, one of my camp counselors, his name was Running Rooster. And one night we were all in the main the main hall where we had our dinner, and they played Karma Chameleon. And about that time, Running Rooster came in dressed as Boy George. And I'm telling you, if you were to put them side by side, you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it was a fun camp, but after
it-
what I saw, I was a little
and it
unnerved.
looked isolated. I mean, it was there just in the, I guess that's, I don't remember what forest was near there. I knew at the time there when we pulled it up, but yeah, still had the circle there where they gather and tell stories and things, and the little cabin. It was your typical summer camp looking camp, and I think they have like a wilderness school or an outdoor school or something there now in addition to summer
Right.
camp. Kind of made it a year-round thing, but
I would love to go back someday and just revisit it. And I don't quite know about taking the same hiking trail because I really, really don't want to run into Bigfoot or whatever that was.
I do. I'd love to have a sighting. So far, I haven't. I've smelled it. I've heard the tree knocks and the yelps and the whoops and all that. I've had rocks thrown at me from an unseen source, but I've never had a visual encounter. That's the one I'm hoping for. Out here in the Pacific Northwest, it's kind of common in some places, but
Right.
I just haven't been in the right place at the right time yet. I've been in areas where there have been numerous sightings, but no luck yet.
You know what would be awesome is one time I fly to Oregon and we pack our stuff and we just take off. Go out in the middle of the wilderness and just leave the world behind us, go explore and see if we can't find us a Bigfoot or
Sounds
something.
like fun to me. I know a lot of places where that fit that bill, and just my favorite times to go are in the early winter or the early spring when there's still snow up above the tree line there,
Mhm.
because you can see the footprints that much easier. I went over
Oh.
to Washington State earlier this year. I think it was in March, but you got up to a certain elevation. There was still some snow. It wasn't really that cold up there, but there was still snow on the ground. And it made it so much easier to look for tracks, for footprints.
I love camping. I love the outdoors. I love being a part of nature and its beauty. And there's just things out there that we don't quite know.
I used to do a lot of cold weather camping. I haven't done any in a long time. It was back east, mainly in the Smokies and along the Appalachian Trail. But I don't know if I could, if I would enjoy the cold weather camping as much now. That back then, when you're in your 20s or so, it's fun to wake up and there's a couple feet of snow on the ground when you went to sleep. Now I'd be like, I want a hot tub.
We'd have to go during the springtime,
Yeah.
when it's beautiful and everything's waking up,
Yeah.
including the bears.
I know we have a lot of bear stories on here and talk a lot of bears, but for the most part, a bear won't bother you unless you get between a mama bear and her cubs.
Exactly.
And then all bets are off. Or if they're really, really hungry and you've got food, they have been known to attack. But for the most part, you can scare a bear off. You can yell at them and scare them off. I know people that have driven them off with brooms. You just get out of here, bear, and swat it. But
Just if we do this, promise me you do not go Grizzly Adams on me, okay?
no worries.
No gentle bends, please.
Yeah, I like bear, but not that much. I make friends with you. I forgot about Gentle Ben. No, that was a TV show. It was
Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly Adams too. But Gentle Ben was a bear that
Yeah, I remember.
it was Ronnie Howard's little brother.
Oh,
I can't remember what his name was, a little buck-toothed, blonde-haired kid. And the show consisted mainly of him pulling a bear around on a chain going, come on, Ben, come on, Ben.
Yep.
It was kind of like Lassie, but with a bear on a chain. And it just, or Flipper, remember Flipper, kind of the same thing. There were animal friend shows like that were popular.
Oh, I loved Flipper, still love Flipper. And I remember going to SeaWorld and I got to touch the nose of a dolphin and give it a fish. And then we got to go to the petting aquarium there at SeaWorld.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to touch a stingray. And as soon as I touched it, honest to God, this thing turned over on its back and flipped its fins at me, wanting me to rub its belly.
Mm.
So I'm rubbing its belly and it's wrapping its tail around me and it's just grabbing me with its fins, and I'm just standing there like, okay. But they feel amazing. Got to pet a baby hammerhead shark. Very neat creatures. Very neat.
That was at the SeaWorld in San Diego, I'm guessing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been to that one. There's one in Orlando. I think there used to be one like somewhere in Ohio. I don't think that one exists anymore. And then even now in East Tennessee, they've got Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies. And they've got a big petting pond like that where you can go in and there's rays and different types of fish and things in there. But, hey, that could be a new TV show, about you and your pet stingray.
Of course, they removed, the dangerous part of it. But
Barb out of the tail. Yeah, that's what got Steve Irwin.
Yeah, it sure did. God rest his soul. He was an amazing guy. And I would love to go back to California, but just to go and see Camp High Hill. And my main goal is I want to go back to Texas where I was born and go back home. I haven't been there in 40 years.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I've been gone from East Tennessee for about 15 years, and I especially miss it this time of year because just the foliage there that they have in the fall is just amazing. I mean, here,
I can imagine.
Across the river in Washington State, they call it the Evergreen State for a reason. I mean, it's pretty much the same in Oregon. You get some color here, but not like you do in the Southeast all the way up into New England along the Appalachians there. It's beautiful this time of year, a little bit later in the year actually, but I miss seeing all that and being there there's always so much going on this time of year there.
I would love to see that. Just be out there and see the leaves changing and falling. Or
now we mentioned San Diego. Did you live there or spend a lot of time there, or were you just visiting SeaWorld?
I lived there for 3.5 years, and where I started out was in Paramount, and I went to Alondra Junior High and Mocular Elementary, and then later we moved to Norwalk, California, and I went to John Glenn High School. And in fact, down from our house was a school where they filmed, I believe, one part, if I understood it right, of Grease. And
awesome.
I remember my sisters and we went there and we managed to sneak in. We got about halfway down the hall, and it was a 2-story school, and we heard a door slam upstairs, and they went one way, I went the other, and just was comical. But I'm running the opposite way of what we came in, and this hall is long, and I heard another door slam, and about that time I slid on the floor, and I got up, and when I managed to squeeze out the door, where I ended up was facing towards the track, and oh my gosh, that was scary. I believe that school was haunted, but it was fun.
Now that we're kind of, Fred and I did the same thing. We went back to our old elementary school and snuck in. I wasn't really breaking and entering because it was unlocked, but probably still was. But, I talk about that in one of my videos. We heard what sounded like a lady in high heels walking across the gym floor, and there was nobody in there but us, and it was like midnight or after. So we made a hasty retreat. And there was a story that the school was haunted, that a teacher, depending on who you talked to, had either died at school, died in a car accident on the way home from school, or had died at home or retired and then died and had come back to haunt the school. So who knows? But there was something in there that scared the devil out of both of us. I wanted to ask you, when you lived in San Diego, did you ever get into Old Town and go down to like the Whaley House and some of those places?
No, not really, but I did go to Bolsa Chica. I went to Portugal, because where I lived, like I said, was Norwalk, but did have family in San Diego and San Jose. And I remember being in San Jose when an earthquake hit.
Oh, gosh.
And if it hadn't been for my dad grabbing the curio cabinet, it was strong enough that it was shaking and dropping the glass tiers from the chandelier off onto the table.
Oh, no.
But he threw me out of the way, and then when he jumped back, the curio cabinet fell. And so I've been in earthquakes. I've almost fallen into the mouth of a great white on a fishing boat.
No.
There's so many memories there. Going down the highway, and my sisters and we looked out the window and we're like, no way. And driving right past us was David Hasselhoff and Kit.
That's awesome.
It is.
You had some adventures there.
Yes.
You mentioned San Jose. Have you been to the Winchester Mystery House?
No, I never got to go there, but I did get to go. I didn't go on her, but our school did it small because she was in repair at the time. Mm-hmm. But we did go get to see the Queen Mary. I believe it was the Queen Mary. I wanted to go on her so bad.
Yeah, that's down in Long Beach. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. It's very actively haunted, supposedly. And they have like night things that you can do there now. They used to, it wasn't open at night, but now they do like the investigation nights when you can go. And I've heard the same thing at the Winchester House. I've been there, but again, it was only in the daytime. And I've heard that they're doing the night things. I think they only do them like in October. But
I would love to go do it. I would love to
spend the night in the Winchester House.
Oh, I would too. And then my sisters and I don't know if you remember Rick Springfield and the movie Hard to Hold.
Yep.
We were at the pier, where he's running down the pier butt naked. Excuse my language. We got to see that. So yeah, that was a trip, being that young and getting to see the making of that movie. While at Portugal, the helicopter from Magnum PI landed. And if anybody knows Magnum PI, the helicopters used was only used in Hawaii. And I don't know why it was that far, but it was. So it was really neat to see it land. So
amazing. Well, I wanted to ask you, do you have maybe a true paranormal experience that happened to you, or something that you'd like to share with us, or maybe even read a poem, something we can put up a scary story time background for you here and let you tell a tale or read something if you have something you could share?
I don't have anything as recent, but there are poems in the Mirrored House in the Carnival, but you would have to read it if you wanted to pick one in the Carnival. The only paranormal thing I experienced, and I believe I shared it before, is watching a ghost hang himself.
Oh gosh. Well,
yes.
I don't think I've heard that story, so would you mind retelling that one?
Okay, sure. I was 17, so it would have been 1988, 87-ish. And my sister, we lived in Phoenix, and at that time she was married with 2 children. And she lived in this old style red barn house like looking house on I think 1.5 acres. Well, when you're walking up to the house with all the trees around, it's, you know, it's like you stepped into another time and place. It's like you weren't even in the city limits. And there was a barn that was attached to it. Well, they always wanted us to use the side door. So when you walk into the side door, there's the kitchen and the connective dining room, and then the open doorway into the living room. And then there's a bedroom and a bathroom back there. Well, as you come in the side door, there was a doorway, and immediately to the right was the restroom. But there was this long, narrow, the only way I can describe it was a dark closet. And it always gave me the creeps, but one day I went over to her house, and I got up the nerve to walk down that closet. And as I got to the door that led out to the barn, I just got this uncomfortable and eerie feeling, and something told me, don't open that door. Not listening, I did, and there were like 2 little steps, so I stepped down, and as I turned right, I looked up into the loft of the barn, and there was a guy standing there, or, you know, kind of kneeling. And he looked right at me, but I know he wasn't seeing me. It's like looking through me. And I watched as he put the noose around his neck and jumped. And I just stood there in complete shock and horror. Could not move, could not scream. And I can't tell you what happened after that or anything. So that was what happened when I was 17.
Wow, that's a creepy story. Now, you said that it was a ghost that was being replayed, or was this an actual hanging?
I would find out years later from my sister that supposedly there was a guy that lived there years ago, or I think 5 years before she moved in, and he had a horrible breakup with his girlfriend, and he did go up into that loft and hung himself.
Oh, wow. So you were saying like a replaying of that, or residual energy,
Yes.
or whatever is going on. Wow.
Yes.
That's gotta be shocking.
It was, and I can still close my eyes to this day, and that image has never left me and never will.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's still haunting to this day.
Let's go to the chat here and see, does anybody have any questions for Creepy Clown Girl? You can put your remarks in the chat there, and we'll see. Or likewise, Creepy Clown Girl, if you've got any questions for anybody in the chat, feel free to ask away.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What?
I asked the chat if they've got any questions for you, and I said, likewise, if you've got questions for anybody in the chat, please feel free.
Okay. Let's see who's in the chat. I can't see the chat that well. So at this time, I don't think I have any questions for anyone in the chat.
Okay, I'm not seeing any questions coming out of the chat for you. Everybody's done great on smashing that like button today. Though we're up to 21 likes last time I refreshed. If you haven't smashed it, go ahead and do so. Help the stream. I was going to say, if you can't buy merch, you can support the stream in other ways. You can donate money. They accept donations. Every penny goes toward helping the stream be better. And also, the third way you can support is like what you're doing right now. Come to the streams, like, share, subscribe if you're not already. Tell somebody, bring a friend. Tell your neighbors, the lady that checks you out at the grocery store. Let somebody know about Dezombified. We want to spread the virus here because it's worth catching.
Yes, it is.
And speaking of Dezombified, let's go ahead and bring Kenny and Miss Stereo in with us. Let them say hi to everybody, and we're getting ready to wrap it up here for today. Hey.
Hello.
Good morning, folks. Had a great time this morning. I thought I'd just interview Creepy Clown Girl, and she's been very fascinating. I loved hearing about the evil slothette years.
Well, you can DM me anytime, and we can have a music marathon.
Yeah, I'm
and
going
listen to music.
Pursue that list of bands that you popped up there earlier. I'm going to check that out later. I'll probably find some stuff in there that I enjoy because we have some of the same tastes in music.
Yes. And thank you for having me on. This has been awesome, and you're an amazing person and narrator, and keep going. You're doing great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks
You're welcome.
for being my guest today. Thanks to everybody in the chat for being here with us, and appreciate your continued support of not only myself, but of Kenny and Miss Stereo and the Dezombified family here, Z Horde. Love each and every one of you.
Thank you. And give yourselves a round of applause as well to all the moderators. Give yourself a round of applause. You guys were amazing, and as always, do an amazing job. Thank you.
Yeah, I like to say that we got the best mods in the business here.
Of course.
Go right ahead.
Oh, darn, I forgot my yellow balloon. That works. My dolly loves purple balloons, too.
Also want to let everybody know, be back at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight for Deadline Podcast. You're going to be on the show. Looking forward to that. Okay, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We appreciate you giving us a platform here.
See you later.
Bye-bye. See you tonight.
See you tonight. Thank you. Let's see. I got to try to figure out. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we're waiting for Mina to come in. Got a number coming up for you here in just a moment, Mia. Okay, since she was on the phone. There we go. Give us a call, 978-716-5389 to speak with the Clown Girl, a special guest today. Creepy clown girl, did she? Oh, okay. Well, we all got twisted around there. I thought she was going to call in. Creepy clown girl thought the show was over. I think she left. Well, anyway, we'll go ahead and let everybody go then. Thanks again for showing up. I'm Steve Stockton, aka 13 Past Midnight. Be sure and check out my stuff when you get a chance. I'm sure everybody here already has. Like, share, subscribe, and come back tonight. Looking forward to what Deadline Podcast has to say. Everybody have a great day, good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. I love you all. Goodbye. Mwah.
Hi, I'm back.
Hey, Don Sharp. Just wanted to shout you out as we're playing us out and came in right on the last there. But come back and join us tonight for a Deadline Podcast. It's
Can you hear me?
8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
So